Brooklands Radio.
And I'm delighted to have in the studio an old friend now of Brooklands Radio. That's Betsy Cook Speer. Good afternoon, Betsy.
Hi, Graham. Thank you for having me today.
My pleasure indeed. I think last time I saw you, you were at the American Women of Surrey's gift fair.
Yes.
Just before Christmas, wasn't it?
Exactly. A shopping extravaganza.
Nonetheless, and we know you obviously as president of the American Women of Surrey, but I didn't realise you're also an author.
Yes, and thank goodness. I'm a Polish author now. Been writing for on and off for 8 years on this novel. So
really, is this a labour of love, or is this a
truly?
How did you begin all this? Why did you decide you wanted to write something?
I laugh when people ask me that because I think the thing is, I live vicariously. I've lived vicariously through my main heroine, Sam Albany. She's got her own demolition show. I always wanted to have a DIY show because that was something that I did for many years professionally.
Right, really? Yes, you like renovating and doing places up and knocking walls down. And
that's my favourite part, knocking walls down.
Yeah, I think somebody told me, never mind about the internal walls, just look at the overall space and how you want to divide it up.
Precisely.
Something like that. So this is all based then around this demolition TV show then, is it?
It is.
Yourself show. Okay. And it's about life of an American in England. Now, this strikes a chord.
Exactly. I've been here 17 and a half years myself. So, so I felt like I could at least, because the novel is, a lot of it is based right in Surrey, in Esher. I knew that off by heart.
Right. So when we're reading it, we'll see a lot of places that we know and recognise then.
Definitely. There's a fictitious manor called Cranmont that many people might recognise as Claremont Manor.
Yeah, that sounds slightly. What about the people, though? Will we recognise some of your friends in this or acquaintances?
No, actually, you will not.
That's good, isn't it?
Probably not. I say that. The manor is owned by this high-flying Brit that my heroine ends up marrying by mistake, really. So he owns Cranmont Manor.
Okay. And I can see from the notes on the back that apparently he dies, isn't he, in a crash?
No.
Oh, somebody else. So I'm getting confused.
That's someone else. That's the love of her life. Someone quite different.
Oh, I see.
Who's a kind of an extreme sport aficionado, and she witnesses his death as he crashes into the side of a Swiss mountainside.
Oh my goodness, this is dramatic.
Yeah, it's that's the sad part.
Right. Well, you've got to have a sad part to balance everything else.
Exactly.
Okay, but it's a glittering aristocratic lifestyle, it says here. Successful anti-fraud company as well, and a generously controlling wife, Sam.
Yes. Wow. What he does is he goes into companies and kind of like an Enron controller. So he finds these problems within corporations and then solves them, finds the baddies and gets them out of there, gets them arrested. So you know that something that happens along the way is going to have something to do with a little bit of whistleblowing that his company does.
All right. So it's really quite a novel, by the way, by the sound of it. Sounds a lot of fun.
Oh, it is good fun. As I said, I live vicariously. Sam has a lot of fun in this novel. She works hard. She's got one thing that I love about it is there's a great mother-daughter relationship in it.
Right.
I have a really close relationship with my own mother, so it was important to me to show that here. And her mom is quite a character as well. She's a brilliant biochemist who has developed a product to save lives. Unfortunately, that product is hijacked and people start dying.
Oh, no.
No, it's awful.
What from having this product?
Well, the product is, what we find out is someone is making it into a weapon.
Oh, I see.
So Sam has to set off on a scavenger hunt throughout England and Europe to find the bad guys and stop them. But it's a scavenger hunt that her mom has set up. She's a brilliant puzzler. She loves sending Sam on puzzling events or scavenger hunts. So this is the biggest one of her life and most dangerous.
My goodness me, this sounds pretty gripping to me. Anyway, so how did you get the idea for this?
There are authors that I absolutely adore, and two in particular, Janet Ivanovich, Stephanie Plum, who I think she's a hilarious character, but she's intelligent. She's kind of like my character. She jumps first, asks questions later. She just is not afraid. She just goes and gets done what needs to get done. I also love the Dirk Pitt character, Clive Cussler, because over the top things happen, things we know would never be possible performed by human being. So, but I think those two characters together, because there's a little bit of elements from both of those authors and
it's the
characters.
trick though to try and keep it just about believable.
Oh yeah, we hope so. Anyway.
Yeah, as a great fan of the series Desperate Housewives, it's all finished now. They're just so, every episode was so full of stuff, wasn't it? You know, maybe in isolation one item might have happened, but to all those things to happen.
Exactly. You're right, and that's a good thing. It's all contained in a book too. There's a beginning and end, and you know you're going to get there.
So how come it's taking you 8 years to get this out of you?
Part of it is because of other work commitments. And part of it was I just couldn't look at this book any longer. I had to put it down. Felt like I wasn't getting where I wanted to be. But about 2 years ago, I really had an epiphany, and for some reason, I was afraid to put it into first person. Even though I identify with this character so much, it felt too personal. But when I finally did, the book really came together for me. It felt more natural. It flowed better. It made more sense. So it is a first person book now. And
wow. Yeah. So how do you start writing something like this? Do you start with an idea of the framework of the whole story, or
you should?
Should you?
I've been told that's the best way to write a novel.
Okay.
But honestly, I'm kind of a jump first, ask questions later kind of person, and I don't like reading instructions or taking classes. So instead, what I did, I started writing ideas, things that made me laugh, things I thought were clever, things that maybe could fit together in this puzzle of this book. And they were on little pieces of paper or in files and whatever.
Oh, right.
And finally started pulling all this together.
So it wasn't in any particular order to begin with?
Not at all. There was no outline. There was
Right.
no proper introduction to this process, and one I would not recommend to anyone.
You'll be quicker with the next book by the sound of it.
Gosh, I hope so. I plan to be, yes.
Right, okay, because is this going to be a sequel to this, do you think?
Definitely. In fact, in the last chapter, you'll see that I'm kind of setting up for the next novel.
How difficult or easy is it to actually just sit down somewhere quietly?
Well,
and write?
People do ask me that, and they say, tell me the secret. How do you make yourself write? I'm very fortunate. They're often, most of the time when I'm writing, there is nothing I would rather be doing.
Oh, right. Do you need a special space to do it in?
I do. The writing part, mostly the editing part, I need to be in a quiet place. But like if I want to be, kind of creative, like in near the end of the novel, the last quarter, there's a huge, wonderful pirate party at the V&A. I got the idea from hanging out at the V&A and going to events there and getting to know it from top to bottom. And so that helped a lot, being on location.
Getting the atmosphere and the feel of the place and the people and everything.
Exactly.
Oh boy, yeah. So and how do you go about getting things published these days then?
Well, a couple of years ago, 3-4 years ago, I think I even sent around the idea to some publishers. Unfortunately, and I understand it, they don't really want to know. They want to see a finished piece of work, and it was nowhere near finished. Unless you are a novelist, they already know, and it's proven they're not going to take a chance on your idea. So what I decided, or what I found out, and my mom has been this wonderful coach. She read up a lot on self-publishing.
She reads the instructions for you.
Thank goodness. She's the list maker and the instruction reader. And she said, self-publishing has really come into its own. It is now a respected way of going. You have control. People can get their work out there that they might not care that they sell 1 million copies. They want to just be published. I found a great group in the States that do professional editing and make sure you have a quality product to take to market. I was going to say,
that's the issue, isn't it? Because you can't see it all yourself. You need somebody else to...
Oh, completely. I would not have trusted it to anybody other than a proven professional, and they are very professional.
Right, because publishers would have these people, obviously.
They did a great editorial review, showed me weaknesses and strengths.
Ah, right. So did you have a sort of a rewrite of bits? Or
a huge, I think it was a 3 or 4 month rewrite.
Right.
I was mixing up my past and present and third and first person.
Goodness.
Just basics if you were a trained writer. I have a chemistry degree.
Right.
My English teachers used to throw up their hands and say, no way, forget it. So I've learned so much from them telling me how it needs to be done.
Right, and you self-publish then?
Yes, on Amazon.
On Amazon, well, that's a good place to go, I would have thought.
They're brilliant.
Is there a bit of a hurdle to get through at Amazon?
No, Amazon are brilliant because I used the company that I used for my editorial review. They are part of Amazon. they knew it was a quality product. And you send your artwork for the cover, you send your interior, and they put it together, upload it, done.
Wow, yeah, I'm going to say, how did you decide on the cover?
I'm very proud to say my son designed it.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
He's,
it's black, isn't it?
Yeah.
with white and red.
The red crown. Yeah. He worked on the red crown a little bit. It was it was just solid red. And then the suggestion came, maybe it needs to look a little bit murky. Then it looked like a crime scene blood spatter. And I said, actually, no, let's tone it down a little. And he came up with that lovely mottled red.
It's very good, isn't it?
And
I guess it's to try and get people's attention if it eventually gets on the bookstores or whatever.
Exactly. In fact, it's available at Cobham Bookstore.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Oh, right. Give
Ask
them a
Bryony. It's on the trade table at Cobham Bookstore. So,
excellent. You'll have to pop across the road to Weybridge Books and see whether they'll take it as well.
That's a great idea. I'd love for it to be in there.
That would be good, wouldn't it? I see Amazon got a quote on the back then. Demolition Queen is one heck of a ride. It leaves readers hoping for a sequel. Well,
yes.
What better endorsement than that?
I know. It's fantastic.
So when you're self-publishing, how are you going to get the word out?
Press releases, chatting it up. There's a wonderful thing, book bloggers, people who love books so much that they're willing to do a review for you. They're also on Amazon. I just found this out yesterday. There's a top reviewers group, and they're ranked. And you want to go through and see who reads novels and will do reviews. And so I'm just researching that right now to find some people that I can send the novel to get another review on Amazon.
Right, great stuff. So if people are tempted to buy Demolition Queen, then just get on Amazon.
Exactly. It's available in ebook too for Kindle. And there's free software that Kindle offer for your iPad, so you can read it on your iPad as well.
Wow, that's good, isn't it? So
the audio version should be coming pretty soon as well.
Oh, right. I reckon this could turn into a great film, you know.
Well, funny you should say that, Graham. That's the next, actually, instead of going on to the second novel, I'm going to start working on the screenplay, or the screenplay has already been started.
Really?
And,
right, so you're thinking that way.
Oh, definitely. And in fact, I think the novel was written with screenplay in mind.
It sounds like a lot of action in here anyway, so it sounds be ideal for a movie.
Definitely.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming in today, Betsy, and telling us all about your marvellous new novel.
Oh, thank you so much, Graham. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk about it.
All right. Lovely to talk to you. Okay, so that's a novelist, Betsy Cook Speer, with her book Demolition Queen, Champagne, Murder and Chaos.
Brooklyn's Radio.